Hey everyone, we are live. Okay, let me head over to Zoom. Hi everyone, I made it just in time. We are talking about unstoppable camera confidence today because being on camera is super important to 10x your visibility. But it's also an area that people find tricky, slightly overwhelming and difficult because we don't always feel confident on a screen. So today I'm going to walk you through not 5 tips, but 10 tips for unstoppable camera confidence. And I hope it's a really practical suggestion of things you can do to get video off your overwhelm list and onto your to-done list. See what I did there? It's not the to-do list, it's the done list. To-done. Right, slightly flustered, I'm not going to lie, because I am knee-deep in school applications at the moment, and that means that I have been reading criteria, small print, lots of criteria, lots of different schools for 2 different children, and filling in an online portal where you've got 3,000 characters. I've uploaded 8 gazillion documents as proof of whatever, evidence, and every single school we want the children to go to is oversubscribed. We've entirely missed out on the entrance exams because obviously we're not in the UK. So, you know, it's been a bit of a week. And in fact, that's why I nearly didn't schedule this at all. It was a bit last minute, as you can probably tell. I kind of did it late last night. But I know I promised last week I'd bring you some camera confidence, and here I am, bringing you camera confidence because done is better than perfect. I even managed to get some slides up for you. And once again, we're going to rattle through some super quick training on camera confidence. For those of you that don't know, I'm Vicky Blades. I'm your visibility strategist and confidence coach, because I firmly believe that we are conditioned as women to play small and be invisible and hide and not speak up and not stand out. However, we need to stand out and be more visible and to speak up, because that's how we connect with people. That's how we make our voices heard. That's how we earn more money and get more clients. And the world is going to change with wealthy women in it. They're the people who are going to change the world, folks. Wealthy women. Trust me. So we need to get out there. We need to be connecting with our clients, and we need to be increasing our income so that we can do all the stuff we want to achieve in the world, like making a difference, helping people, empowering others, because that's what happens when you become empowered, is you empower others. I firmly believe that. And confidence and visibility isn't just a one-off thing. It's not, oh, I'll just go and learn visibility, or I'll just learn some confidence tips, because we're human beings, and like business, we're a little bit up and down. Sometimes we're confident in certain situations. Other times we might be in that situation and not feel confident. A lot of it depends on how we are day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. So this, my friends, is not something that you can do once and then tick off your list. This is something that needs work. One thing that you can do and tick off your list, although you can't do it just once, is videos. I'll talk a bit more about videos as we get into the presentation. However, for now, welcome to Unstoppable Camera Confidence. If you're here live, and that's whether you're on the Zoom call or live in the group, say hello, drop me an emoji showing me what's the weather like where you are. If you're not live, then put #replay, because I would love to know who's watching this and how you're watching it. And the other thing I need to know is whether you're interested in the free PDF that goes with this. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a mo. So first of all, I'm just going to head over to Facebook to check in. And I can't see myself, which, oh no, there I am. Judith is here. Hello.
Check in.
Hi, Judith. Welcome. So if you're with me, as I say, whether you're on live or replay, do feel free to ask questions and pop comments in. I'm going to be checking back on the comments as I do the presentation, and I will always come back to you, even if you're watching on replay and you've got any questions. So let's crack on. Again, I'm going to try and rattle through this. And I started a few minutes late, but I'm going to aim to finish by 4 o'clock my time, which is 1 o'clock your time. So still have some lunch break left. Okay, right. Where do we need to go? Oh, share screen, share screen, share screen. Okay. I'm going to share screen. And we're going to go into, where's my, there. Oh, hello, it's not at the beginning. It's very green, this presentation. I literally threw this together with love and attention and care, but I didn't have as much time as I thought. It was a busy day, and like I say, I set all this time aside for the school application, so I nearly didn't do this at all. But anyway, let's get into it. Here we are. You know what? I might just. Oh, okay. Okay. Top 5 tips for unstoppable camera confidence with me, Vicky Blades, your visibility strategist and confidence coach. I'm a liar, because it's actually 10 top tips for your unstoppable camera confidence, and we're going to rattle through them in the next 20 minutes. So top 10 tips, not bad, hey. I hope you like the green screen. My new Apple. Okay, so what are the top 10 tips? Okay, 1 to 5, and don't worry, I will be going into these in slightly more detail, but we're talking about breath, slowing down, preparing, making eye contact, and a smile. That's your first 5 right there. And there's me doing my vocal exercises. And your second 5 are record daily, get inspired, best friend vibes, plan, and script. So there's your next 5. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning and talk about why you have to breathe and slow down. Okay, so this is while you're on camera, things to remember. Breathing, I know, sounds obvious. Of course, we all breathe. But actually taking time to breathe slowly is going to help you enormously. So it's a slow breath. It can be a deep breath, as in filling your lungs up. That's great. What we want to do is we want to create a bit of space in your torso. And we want to, what happens when you get nervous is your breath comes up in the chest. And you can always almost start panting and getting short of breath, particularly if you then speak fast as well, because you're nervous and you want to get it over and done with. So I invite you to take a breath with me right now. And notice that your shoulders lower, that your voice is lower, and naturally, because you've calmed down your nervous system, you become a little bit slower in your speech. The advantage of a slightly slower speaking pace is that you will, A, eliminate the ums and the ers, because you're allowing your brain the time to actually think about what it's saying. And B, you will sound like you know what you're talking about, because you're super confident, you're a little bit slower than normal, and it makes you sound very authoritative, gives you a little bit of status. So we're breathing to calm ourselves down, to relax all the tension in our shoulders and neck, and give our breath space in our bodies, which will allow us to then slow down. And this is not only going to have an effect on you, because it's going to make you feel better, but it's also going to make you look more confident. And that's what the audience wants to see, because if you're confident, they will be confident. The problem is, if you watch someone who's a little bit nervous, or you get a feeling that they're not quite sure what they're doing, we start to tense up when we're watching, and we go, oh, you know, what's this person doing? We're not quite sure. Any kind of question mark like that in your audience's mind, it's going to make them feel uncomfortable. And it's more likely that they're going to switch off rather than keep watching. Who can remember number 3? Not me. I kind of can, but I'm never sure what order I've done these in. So let's have a look. Prep. Okay, so there's 2 kinds of prep. There's preparation and there's planning. And I'll come on to planning in the next section. But for now, prep. So what I mean by prep is all the practical stuff. You've got your device that you're going to record on. If you've got any gubbins, as I call it, gubbins being selfie stick, remote clicker, lapel mic, ring light, any gubbins that you need, that all needs to be in the place where you're going to record. So, you know, on your device, in your pocket, on your desk, wherever. That's prepping. Prior to that, you've already prepped by deciding that the lighting works and the framing works. So you've done a little check, whether you're chatting into your phone or your laptop or your webcam, you've already done a little practice. I do it on Zoom. I just go in, start a new meeting, and I look at audio levels, and I look at the framing, and I look at the lighting, and I fiddle faddle about with it. You can also, if you want to, record yourself in Zoom. And again, it's not like a big recording, like, you know, making a training video, but just record yourself doing anything and then watch it back so you can see what the audience can see. That's quite important. So you need to check your audio, your lighting, your framing. If you need any tips on this, please let me know, because I'm assuming that in this day and age, we all kind of know what framing and lighting we need, and we all know how to sort the audio out. But if you don't, I'm not at all techie, and so my kind of tech talk is from a non-techie person. So if you want any advice on your framing, your lighting, your gubbins, please let me know. You can always DM me or tag me in a question in the group. Very happy to help. Techie help from a non-techie person. So that's all your prep. Other prep might be, you know, a glass of water, your lippy, you're wearing whatever it is you've decided is correct for that video, or maybe you don't care, also fine. You've brushed your hair, you've got your notes maybe, you've got a pen, you've got any links that you're referring to, all of it is prepped and set up so that actually all you have to do, all that is left to do is either hit record or hit the live button, right? And I know this as an actor, we would never dream of walking on a stage or walking onto a film set without having done tons of prep. Now, sometimes you get a lot of rehearsal time, sometimes you get very little, but even outside of rehearsals, we are, as actors, doing tons and tons of prep around the text and the script and the character and all of that. And so prep is super important, because once you step onto that stage, get on camera, you want to focus on what you're saying. You want to focus on the job at hand. You do not want to be worrying about, does this look right? Does it sound right? Have I remembered everything? Okay. So the point of prep is to make you look confident, and it makes you feel confident. And here's another thing about prep as well. If you are feeling anxious at the thought of making videos or overwhelmed, we can quite often procrastinate or avoid by obviously going away and doing something else, because we kind of feel like it's too big of a mountain to climb. But if you start taking micro actions, small bits of action, like checking your lighting, checking your framing, have a fiddle faddle around on Zoom. That tells your brain that you're taking action, you're making progress, you're moving forward, and suddenly the motivation will follow. So we may not be motivated to go live because it makes us feel anxious, but once we start to take these little prep steps, we start to think, oh, actually, okay, yeah, maybe I can do this. And motivation to make those videos will follow. Very important. Okay. Right. What's next? Smile, smile, and make eye contact. Okay. Smile has, again, a twofold effect, because if you smile, you feel better. Now, that is science, my friends. You try smiling and notice it actually gives you a little lift, honestly. So again, smile makes you feel better, but most of all, it's very inviting to your audience. If you smile, you're telling us that you've got this. You're telling us that you're relaxed, that you're happy, you're in a good place. And as an audience member, that's what I want to see. I want to go, right, oh, she's got this. Yeah, oh, look at her, she's really happy. I'm really happy because I'm watching her being really happy. So smiling. And sometimes we forget that, don't we? I would say 95% of my clients, when they're sending me videos to be reviewed, are, often great, often very natural, often have good content, but they forget to smile because it's all very serious and they're really worried about it. And so smile. And then eye contact is another one that people worry about. And I will tell you what my wonderful, wonderful Shakespeare tutor said. He came in, I was teaching acting students on a foundation course, and he came in to do a Shakespeare module. He was brilliant. He worked for the RSC, that's the Royal Shakespeare Company, if you don't know. And he's booked out as a voice coach for all sorts of very influential people. And he would say to my students, swimmy eyes, swimmy voice. And what he meant by that was, if you are not looking directly at the person, or if you're on stage at the audience, your voice is going to go where your eyes go. I know that sounds really weird, but it's a weird thing that happens because we follow your non-verbal cues. So we follow your eyes wherever they're going. If you're making eye contact and looking straight down the lens at us, we feel like we're the only one that you're looking at. We feel that we're in a conversation with you. If you start to look over here, and again, try this on a TV program, or actually when you're at the theatre, it's really useful. We follow your eye line and we think, what are they looking at? And in a TV program, most often they will cut to what the character is looking at, and we feel a sense of satisfaction. We're like, oh, that character's looking up there. And we go, what are they looking at? And then we see a shot of what it is they're looking at, and we go, okay. If you've ever seen a TV show or a film where they look away and you don't get to see what it is, or I saw one the other day where they're like, oh, look at this photo, isn't it amazing? And then they put the photo down. We're left with a kind of empty feeling, like, but what was it? What were they looking at? What did the photo look like? Because it's not like books where we use our imagination. On a visual medium, we need to see what it is. This is a very long-winded way, by the way, of talking about eye contact. And if you're a person, if you're flicking your eyes all over the place, it's very distracting, and it means your voice, which needs to be directed to the viewer, also goes all over the place. So swimmy eyes, swimmy voice. That's not what we want. And of course, we're doing this to build that know, like, and trust factor. We're building intimacy, we're making a connection. And we do that by making eye contact. And I know it takes a bit of getting used to. But if you possibly can, stare straight down the lens. Well, not stare, I mean look. Look straight down the lens And imagine that someone else is on the other side and you're making eye contact with them. Caveat, we are used to Zoom meetings where people look at their own face rather than at the camera, because that's very distracting when you see your own face and you see other people's faces. It does feel like you want to look at yourself. If you can avoid that, so much the better. If you can't, if it's too difficult, then it's okay, because we're getting used to it. We're getting used to the fact that people are looking at themselves and not looking straight at the camera. So it's not the end of the world. But if you want to be professional and look that bit more experienced and confident, I would look down the camera. Okay. I'm actually going to take a sip of water here and double check and see if I've got any comments. Ooh, because, I feel like I've got a sore throat. Okay. Right. Oh, hello. Oh, very welcome. Okay, let's go on to our next 5 tips. Remember, it's 10 tips, not 5. Record daily. This is particularly useful if you have terror and dread at the thought of being on camera. Sometimes it's for people going live, but often people simply can't think of themselves on a video without breaking into a sweat. So what I advise my clients in this situation to do is to hit record every day. Set yourself a target. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's 10 days, maybe it's 2 weeks. And what you're doing is taking the fear away of the physical action of hitting record or going live. But let's stick with recorded for now. So my prescription in this case is to hit record on a daily basis in a really ordinary situation. Maybe you're washing up and your camera's there on the windowsill. Maybe you're out taking the dog for a walk and you've got a camera in your hand. Maybe you are doing housework, folding laundry, I don't know, something mundane and ordinary. I urge you to hit record. And when you hit record, find something interesting, maybe if you're outside on a walk, or narrate what you're doing. Here I am doing the washing up. Oh, look, this is my favourite glass, and burble away to your heart's content. You don't have to do it for any more than a minute, but you can if you want to. And what this does, it takes the pressure off. It builds your muscle memory so that hitting record just becomes an ordinary everyday thing. And it actually helps you to practice. You may not be saying exactly the things you'd say in a business video, marketing video, training video, but it helps you to speak out loud. And if you're brave enough, you can watch back and go, oh, I see, right, well, that was good lighting, actually. Or, oh, that was too noisy because I was doing something else and I couldn't hear my voice. And you start to tune into what works in terms of the prep, the audio, the framing, and so on. So it's a really good way of taking the pressure off what feels like a very pressured activity. And don't post it. Keep it for yourself, or post it and see what happens. I mean, really, either way, it doesn't matter, but it's a really good way, just getting into the habit of being on camera. And that's going to help build your camera confidence. Get inspired. Okay, so this is a tricky one because it's easy to fall prey to comparisonitis. But I would urge you, and I used to say this in public speaking as well, if you find someone or think back to a situation where you've heard a great speech, or you've been to an event and somebody really was gripping and exciting, and you thought, wow, I wish I could speak like that. Fantastic. Make a note of who they are, go and look them up, go and stalk them on social media, go and check if they've got any YouTubes, and get inspired. I get really inspired when I go to the theatre. I love it. I mean, apart from having most of the time a great experience, I just kind of feel like, yes, aren't they brilliant? Getting up there, doing that thing, making us all feel, you know, sad, happy, whatever it is. And I would say the same with speakers. I go online and have a look at YouTube sometimes. Oh, podcasts. I'm a mad podcast fan. I listen to podcasts every day. And I just listen to voices and go, yeah, that voice is really appealing. Often, obviously, it's to do with the content as well. But use that as a way to get inspired. Use that because you know that those people all started where you started. Even the most accomplished speakers, singers, actors, business people all started at the beginning, just like you. And look where they are now. Look what is possible for you. The dark side of this is if you start to use it as an excuse and say to yourself, well, I'll never be that good. I'll never be able to make it look effortless like they do. Oh, look at, they've got a beautiful studio. I have to wait until I've got a videographer. I'm going to have to wait until someone comes along and does it all for me. No, that's not how it works. It's time to get on with it. And honestly, take the fuck it pill, because at the end of the day, if you make a video or not, if you go live or not, if you ever appear on a camera or not, no one's going to die. It's really not the end of the world. It might affect your business in terms of connecting with people. It might affect your business in terms of your income. It might affect your audience reach if you never appear on camera. But at the end of the day, no one's going to die. You might as well do it. That's what I think. Okay. Best friend vibes. I mentioned this when I was talking about eye contact. You want to imagine that you're chatting to your best friend or your best client or your mum or your sister or somebody who makes you feel good, somebody who makes you feel good about yourself. And they're on the other side of the camera. You have to imagine this because they're not actually there. But that's who you want to speak to. You have to be excited about your message. You have to feel like you are saying something that's going to benefit this person. Or if you want to, just imagine you're having a coffee with someone that you haven't seen for a while. And you do the old, hey, how are you? Oh my gosh, we haven't caught up for ages. Oh, you know, and that sort of enthusiasm and energy and excitement translates really well on a screen. And it makes us want to lean in and keep listening. Because again, we're going to feel like we're in a conversation with you. And that's absolutely the vibe that you're going for. So best friend vibes. Now we come on to number 9, plan. So planning is slightly different from prep. Prep to me is all the practical stuff to get you to the place where you just hit record. Plan is a bit more strategic because planning is to do with, why are you making this video? What's the purpose of it? Who are you talking to? And what do you hope to achieve? So I'm making this training video because I want to love on my Facebook group and I want to give you loads of value. I also know, for example, that I ask questions when you come into the group, one of which is, which area are you particularly interested in? And it could be last week's training, practical steps to get more visible, or it could be this week's training, camera confidence. So I think there's one more. That's probably next week's training. So people in my group have expressed an interest in camera confidence, and here I am providing some camera confidence training. And that makes me happy, and I hope it makes you happy too, because I could talk about camera confidence day in and day out. I'm trying to keep it short. But my plan is to keep doing this free training on subjects that you want to hear about, on subjects that are dear to my heart, subjects that I teach my clients and I help them with in my program, so that I give great value and that I build that know, like, and trust factor. There's something else called the mirror effect. I'm going to talk about that another time. So planning, why am I doing this? What's my aim? Well, my aim is that I can get more people into the group. And my aim is that people in my group are going to get to know me. And my ultimate aim is that somebody watching this is going to become a client of mine, naturally. And that's why I'm very happy to give my time and my wisdom and value in this training. I planned it to be at half an hour. Doesn't always work. I plan, which I didn't execute this week, to promote this training on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But again, I wasn't sure I was even going to do this training, so I didn't do that part of the planning. I plan to do more of these, and having a plan and a purpose is going to help enormously, because one rookie error that I see lots of people making is once they've got over their fear of video or going live and getting on camera, is they start to hit record with no purpose, with no plan, and very little prep. And that's great if you've got something to say. But what tends to happen without the plan, without the prep, and without the purpose is that you waffle, you ramble, you spend 15 minutes telling people about whatever it is, but going off on tangents and going, oh, and here's another thing, and here's another thing. And it just isn't interesting, because we don't know why we're there. Why are we watching this? Why are we watching this woman ramble on about her day? It doesn't serve a purpose. I want to know, as a viewer, that I'm going to get something out of this. And you will, my friend. Trust me, you will get something out of this. So that's why a plan is really important. One of the things I talk about in my Magnetic Mastermind is a strategy, and we talk visibility strategy. And part of that is planning out the purpose of your social media posts. And it doesn't matter if they're texts, stories, videos, reels, whatever, events. We need to know why we're doing it, what we hope to achieve, what's in it for the viewer, and what do you get at the end of it? As in, what do you get as the person providing the content, and what does the consumer get from consuming your content? Super important planning. And finally, script. And if you've ever watched any of my trainings, you know that I don't like scripts. I don't like scripted videos because people learn them or try to learn them word for word, which is a huge undertaking and a massive skill in itself. And the second thing is that if you've learned something word for word, you spend most of your time on a screen trying to remember what the words are. It's not fun to watch, and it's not necessary, because we don't want you to be word perfect, and we don't want you to be slick and polished. We want you to be you, stumbling over words, forgetting things, looking at your notes, going, oh, I forgot to mention this thing. All of that. We love it. We love that, because we want you on a screen. We don't want perfect. We don't want polished. I mean, yeah, obviously some people have got whole production crews helping them out and what have you. Fantastic. But to start with, all you need is you. And that's why you don't need a script, my friend. However, caveat, you do need a framework. And this is where we go back to the planning. And this is why I provide you with a video script. It's not a script word for word, it's a framework. So you've got the beginning, the middle, the end, the call to action. If you've got all of those bits in place, then all you have to fill in is your 3 main points that you're hoping to make on camera on that video. And you know your outro, you know your intro, you know your call to action, and all of that then makes life part of your planning, part of your prep, makes life so much easier for you. And you can use that framework every single time you get on screen. It's brilliant. And what I need to say at this point is, if you're watching and you would like a copy of my super simple video script, so you always have something to say, then drop the word script below, please. And I will get back to you with the link to get my super simple video script so you can be consistent build your brand, and always have something to say. But it's not script, not a script, all right? Okay, so checking in on my time. Oh yes, time to wrap up. Speaking of scripts, one of the things that I help my clients with is scripting their videos. And again, I don't mean like a script that you would get, you know, for a play or a film. What I do, I'll give you an example of my client, and we were doing an intro video and struggling to get, there was the intro video, which is very short, and then there was a personal story video, which is where you tell your clients, you know, who you are, all about you, how you got to be there, why you do your business, all of those things. Again, I can help you with this. And so we started with the intro video, and this is really common. And you say, you know, tell people a bit about yourself, and they go, well, when I was 16, I started, and often what you were doing at 16 is not relevant to what you're doing today. We don't need a resume. We don't need your CV. We don't need to know that before this you did that, and before that you did that, and before that you did that, all the way back to when you left school. No. We need to start with the punchy stuff. We need to start with maybe your eureka moment, maybe the wake-up call that you needed, maybe when you hit rock bottom and decided to start this business as a way of climbing your way to the top. I don't know, but this is what the Copy Cure is all about. If you're in this group, you'll know that Fridays are now Copy Cure Fridays. It's for a limited time only, folks. And I'm very happy to look at your video scripts. That's ideas for your videos, how to start a video, how to end a video, what's a call to action. Maybe you're writing a bio, an event description, a blog post. I don't mind. I'm very, very happy to have a look at it and just give it a bit of a restructure, because with video particularly, you need to start with the punchy stuff. You need to start with the interesting stuff, and not, when I was 16, I did this thing. Okay, so if you're having problems with your video content, first of all, put the word script below, and I'll shoot you over that free PDF on how to structure framework for your videos. And secondly of all, hop into the group on a Friday and drop me some text, and I'm very happy to have a look at it. And that's the Copy Cure Fridays. Okay. Oh, I hadn't checked this presentation. Yeah, so make a plan. The other thing you can do to make yourself feel more confident, to give yourself unstoppable camera confidence, is to schedule it, practice it, prep it, plan it, and do it with purpose. That's all the P's, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So make a plan, really important. What I do want to tell you about, though, and I'm quite excited about this, I'm so excited. I literally wake up every morning and go, what can I do? What can I do? The Magnetic Mastermind is my new signature program to give you more visibility, more confidence, and more clients. It's a group coaching program, but a really, really small group, because I want to give everybody loads and loads of love and attention. So it's going to be a super small group. So it got 3 main strands to it. It's powerful positioning, magnetic messaging, and that all-important visibility strategy, as I mentioned earlier. And once you've got all that in place, my friend, it is going to be easy for you to get more clients. I guarantee it. And all we all want is for life to be simpler, more easy. And for me, I think business should be fun. I've had long moments in my business where it felt like drudgery, where it felt like walking through treacle, where I have literally dreaded going upstairs to my office, which is my beautiful office, which I love, but I have kind of, been repelled by the thought of standing in front of my laptop and going, what the hell do I do next? What do I do? Where do I get clients? How do I find people? What's the next step? And just feeling utterly, utterly lost. And when I feel like that, I procrastinate. I do busy work so that I can pretend that I'm doing really useful stuff, and distract myself. And I do avoidance and distraction like a ninja. Yeah. So I know all about that, my friend. And the really wonderful thing about the magnetic masterminds, and I'm nearly in tears, this is so weird, I'm feeling quite emotional, is that I cannot bloody wait. I'm so excited to bring you this program, because I think I've taken all my struggles over the last 4 years and worked out how I've overcome them. And that's what I want to share with you. And it's down to these 3 things: positioning, messaging, and strategy. And honestly, I cannot wait to start this program in a couple of weeks. Let me tell you a little bit more about it. Oh, I need to tell you, because I haven't actually really spoken about this. I've kind of mentioned it. It's in one of my emails to a few people. I think I mentioned it on training last week, but I haven't actually started talking about it. And I am going to now, because I'm so excited. So it's a 6-month program. Have I said that? No, I haven't said that. Okay. The full price is $4,997, but it's not full price yet, because the first 5 people are going to come in for $2,497. I want 5 people to join me, and I reckon I'm going to take max 12 people in the program. So yeah, so the first 5 will get it for half price. That's your 50%. And if you're one of those 5 and you decide to pay in full, you get even more discount for $1,997. I'm very excited. And first 5 people get 3 months free. So you get 9 months for the price of 6. Here you go, a little bit more detail. It's a group coaching program. It's for 6 months. I want to keep the groups really, really small. We start off with a one-to-one deep dive with me. And that's your bonus, that's your VIP session with me, where we map out your strategy to do with your visibility. Obviously, you'll have weekly coaching calls and access to me throughout. We're going to do monthly challenges. We're going to look at each week's going to have a different focus. And 2 of the things we'll be really, really honing in on is your copywriting and your videos. Obviously. Excited. Woohoo! I'm so excited. I haven't put the last slide in, but that is my magnetic mastermind. If you'd like to know more, probably the best thing to do is to hop on a call and and I can give you more deets. Some people like to know all the deets, some people don't. Some people want to know the overall picture. That's fine. And if you want to talk to me about the magnetic mastermind, DM me or tag me in a post and put your hand up and go, me. In fact, if you put me below this video, I will get in touch with you and we can sort something out. Okay, so that is, oh, I can stop sharing now. That is 10 top tips for unstoppable camera confidence. I'm actually going to turn those 10 tips into a PDF, which will be one of my freebies. But for the moment, I've got the video framework and script. Pop the word PDF below. Pop the word script below if you want a copy of that. And if you want to find out more about the Magnetic Mastermind, which I'm so excited about, then please put me in the comments below. And if you've got any questions, whether you're watching live or on replay, I'm going to come back and answer your comments. I haven't been able, if you've made any comments, I'm really sorry. I can't see anything on Facebook. So I do apologise if you feel that I've ignored you, which I haven't, promised. But for now, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to get a much needed cup of tea, and I will see you very soon. Thanks for watching.